The Tesla coil was invented by Nikola Tesla in early 1900s, and it was his method for producing an extremely high voltage from extremely low voltage. And so normal house current is 120 volts, but he wanted a million volts or 2 million volts, or something that he couldn't have with the technology that was available at the time. So he devised this system called an air core transformer, and what it does is it goes through a series of steps to reach common house voltage that was available at the time to much higher voltages so it could be transmitted a long distance, which is what lets us have this power grid that can go thousands of miles that we have today. So what he starts off with is he starts with line voltage that comes into a small transformer. And the way a transformer works is you have 10 coils of wire on one side, so this is called the primary, and it would have 10 turns of wire, 100 turns, and depending on the ratio of the turns of wire you have on each side, then it will induce a higher voltage depending on the ratio. So if this has 10 turns of wire and this is 1,000, it's a ratio of 1 to 100. So if he starts with 120 volts on this side, he'll end up with 12,000 volts on this side. So then that current at a much higher voltage goes into a large capacitor, source of all this energy, so that it can get much higher energy to go into his second transformer over here. So with when there's enough energy in the capacitor, it builds up enough so it can jump this air gap, which will only break down with enough energy available. So when it jumps across the air gap at 12,000 volts, it dumps into this next coil, which has another 10 turns, and it will induce a much higher voltage into the second coil over here, which has 100 turns. So then going from 120 to 12,000 in the first jump, it goes from 12,000 to 1.2 million volts in the second jump. And this is enough voltage to break down the air and make a 5-foot lightning bolt come out of the top. And it's also enough voltage to be able to send radio signals and things. So Nikola Tesla was one of the pioneers of radio, and he used this technology to build the first AM radio.